Okay. Good evening. This is Monday, March 13th. This is the Board of Assessment Appeals first deliberation meeting. I'm calling the meeting to order at 5:12. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Okay. This is Carol Langland, recording secretary. I'm going to do roll call. I'm present. Paulette Cousteau.
Present.
And Helene Daly.
Here.
Kathleen Griffith.
Here.
And Peter Rupert.
Yes.
Okay, everyone's here.
Paula.
And Paula.
Paula Jensen from the Assessor's Office.
Thank you, Paula. Okay. Present. Hold on, this is hard because I gotta record. Jump in. Paulette, please.
Okay, I'm jumping.
Jump in.
Okay. You have the appeals, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why don't you just call off one and we'll get going?
Okay, number,
Can I just wanted to interject something.
Yes.
Last week when we were hearing appeals, it occurred to me that, one of the, appellants, I knew, that person. And so I think it's incumbent upon all of us, if we know or have had contact with the, appellants outside of, their sworn testimony that's disclosed for everybody.
Okay.
Okay?
Or just to disclose?
Just to disclose it. You're not,
No, I mean, yep.
just disclosing so everybody knows. You're not like saying you're not gonna vote.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you feel like you should.
Oh, that's individual, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
Okay. Go ahead, Paula.
okay, the first appeal is, David J. Wold, dentist. What we did was,
Oh, appeal number.
oh, I'm sorry, appeal number 5. What we did was we went through what he provided in terms of what he thought, and we have, put it on a spreadsheet, so that way it's very easy for everyone to understand, because I know it's hard to talk about, because we usually talk about original cost and and current value and stuff, and it doesn't really work with personal property. So this way we've taken their numbers, what they've said, and developed a spreadsheet for it, for a declaration, basically. And on this, so, if you all want to look at it, or...
I just have a question. Was he appealing his penalty?
Two things.
There was two things. I think one of them was his penalty.
His assistant didn't file.
Right, she was sick or something.
Right,
MS.
so this is what he felt it should be when
Okay.
he filed, except we did put the penalty in because that is by state statute.
Right.
So,
I'll take a quick look.
sure. I mean, if you want to look at the whole folder.
So the town said $110,000 and he is appealing at $88,650.
I don't know.
I think on here it
I'm
says,
looking at the cover
assessor's
right
final
now.
appeal, $115,850.
Assessor approved.
Assessor's final
Assessment.
assessment total.
Was more than the $1,108,000.
No, it's a hundred,
With the penalty in it. No.
it's 115,000, not 1 million.
Oh, I had the commas aren't on the sheet, okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, well, who's got $1 million worth of
Well, no,
Yeah,
the
that-
sheet I have from that one says $110,800.
I know,
Right, that's what it says on the hearing,
Yeah.
whatever, the merge document.
110.
It does say $110,000, but I can find the
Yep.
Okay, so that's what the assessor said he had, and,
It doesn't.
Based on the declaration he filed.
okay.
I mean, you can see this is the declaration, we just put it on a separate piece of paper.
Yeah, I believe his issue was the appeal as well.
Kathleen doing that?
Both.
And what we wanted, we were gonna ask as to whether, this was a really unfortunate situation with his, bookkeeper who developed
Right,
MS, and he was
Mhm.
trying to keep her quality of life longer than he probably should have.
So I guess Paul probably knows best, so I guess we'll ask you, is there any
Yeah.
kind of a compassionate thing, or
Oh, yeah,
there's no way out of that 10%? It's state law and that's the way it is?
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for,
Unfortunately,
more of a
that's what it is.
compassion, not just like, oops, I forgot.
25%,
It's
right?
25%, yeah.
Okay.
It's 25%?
Yeah,
Twenty-five
yeah, yeah,
percent of the
yeah,
assessment.
no, he came in and told us.
Yeah.
It's 25% of the assessment.
Of the assessed,
Mhm.
not the appraised, but the, yeah.
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah, it is.
You add, so, if I'm reading this, I just wanna make sure I'm reading it right. So it looks like, once he's filled out, assuming we think he's said everything correctly, right?
Right.
He's at 92,680,
Right,
right? That's what he's saying he has
Right.
assessed value in
Assessed.
property.
Mhm.
Then with the 25% penalty, we add 23,170 to it.
mhm.
Okay, so that's the penalty, that's 25% of the
Yeah.
92,680.
Yeah, huge.
And that brings him up to the 115,850. So he's gonna pay taxes on 115,850 instead of paying taxes on the 92,680.
Right. And we'll-
Right?
You know, we always try to tell people if you come in and ask for an extension, we give them. You know,
Yeah, in his case, though, he didn't know that she didn't do it,
Oh.
so in his case, it wouldn't have mattered.
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do, it's, some towns, it's just a policy that they don't do them. And we've always been very, generous with them, actually.
With an extension.
Yeah. I mean, we're allowed to extend to December 15th,
But they have to request it.
but they have to
before the
request
deadline.
it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Is what it is.
But wasn't he asking for 88,650? Where did the
But that's not what he put in his declaration.
Oh,
yeah, he put 92,680.
well,
That's
Right.
what's actually in the
Right.
declaration, yeah.
And so was the town value, I don't know where you're getting the million, but the town value
I don't know.
of 110,810 sounds like to me that's the 88,650 plus the 25% penalty, no?
Well, I don't,
yeah, that's probably.
That's probably what, I don't have my calculator out, but that's probably why our sheet says that, the
Right.
spreadsheet or whatever.
ours was an estimated amount, or based on what had been declared previously. He had $25,000 in new furniture and fixtures that hadn't been on previously. So his assessment should have gone up.
Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about the penalty.
Yeah, we can't fix that.
Yeah, it's, okay.
But is there still, I'm a little bit confused, is there still a discrepancy, like, with what, if we take his number and add the penalty to it, is there still a discrepancy between what he's saying and what the assessor's saying? No?
No.
Same?
Well, his form that I see scanned in doesn't put his statement of value at all.
Yeah, it does, I mean, we have it here. I mean, I thought it was scanned in, and he doesn't calculate it, but we use the amounts that he has.
Okay.
And we calculated it through on those pages.
Okay, yeah, okay, this is not the same as
Oh.
scanned in, unfortunately.
I mean, it's-
Yep. That's it? Yeah, sorry, let me just throw it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, next appeal is number.
No, no, we have-
well,
no, we have to-
I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry.
But also, I just-
I'm just wanting to get.
I just need to make sure we have the right motion on the table, that's what
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out. Are we denying his appeal, or we're accepting his revised amount, which is higher than what we have for his ask amount, right? No, what did he say in the hearing? Did he say he wanted 88,650 in the hearing?
That's what I have.
That's actually, I see that on the sheet, but is that what he actually said too in the hearing?
Well, that's what I wrote down.
That's what
Okay.
you wrote down.
Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
88,650
Yeah.
plus.
Well, so I just want to be clear, the numbers that you have there for the 92 are what you took off of his paperwork
That he submitted,
that he
yeah.
submitted, okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
And that's without the penalty? That's just the number that's it?
That's just the number of the original cost of items he submitted.
And where did the 92,680 number come from that you just passed around?
That came from, what we, see, this is what he did. We calculated it through.
Okay,
Okay, so we just took what he gave us,
okay.
and calculated the amounts through, and then put them on here, added it up, and so that's why we got 92.
Got it. I'm looking, so I guess I should look at his form, the form at the very beginning, which I didn't look at. See what he
No,
filled
it's
out.
not helpful.
No, it doesn't help.
It's not there?
No, so it's in Ross's spreadsheet somehow, right? That number of the 88,650 got in Ross's spreadsheet.
That is probably what we had, well, I don't know, I don't, like, actually know what we had on the grand list.
Okay.
I'm confused why what she has is not what we have, I'm looking at scanned in.
I don't know, but that's the numbers that, for some reason,
This is, I mean, it's the same thing, we just calculated it out. They're the
Okay.
same numbers.
When you say calculated out.
Well, this is the original.
On the right-hand side, is that
Okay,
what you're
this
saying?
is the original cost. It was bought in 10/1/21 for number 24A. And then we just calculated, it's, okay, that's 90% good. So we said, okay, 90% good, and then we take,
What does that mean, 90% good?
because it's,
Depreciation?
that's its depreciation. So that means because it's supposed to be, assessment is 70% of depreciated value. So we calculate the depreciated value, and then we calculate the assessment. So
Gotcha.
basically, all he did was give us these numbers.
Gotcha.
We calculated everything through as, to get to assessment.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and his sheet in the backup is not filled, the numbers are filled out on the left, but not on the right.
Right.
and that's where you carried it
And that's
through.
what we did, is that we just took,
Okay. So maybe the 88 number just came in somewhere incorrectly into the spreadsheet or something.
that may have been what we had.
Yeah, that was on his original paper.
That may have been what we had on the grand list, but then had the penalty.
No, 'cause
Well, no, that brings it to 110 then.
right.
which
So
is what,
the higher
Which is
number
what he-
which is what's on the,
15.
sheet that was,
With the revised assessment, he's now up to 115
115.
penalty.
Right.
Because, yeah.
It's now 92,680 instead of
Right.
88,650. Somehow it added another 40,000, 4,300 got added on.
Can we do the,
4,030.
can we do the penalty on the 88,650 and give him a teeny break?
I don't understand what you're saying. The penalty gets added to the new assessed value
Mm-hmm.
moving forward,
No, it's just for 1 year.
or just for 1 year, and then okay.
So he's paying taxes on 25% more than he normally would pay taxes on for 1 year. So instead of getting taxed on 100,000, he's gonna get taxed on
Okay,
125,000.
I didn't realize I thought
Yeah.
you pay the penalty.
That's
Oh,
what
no,
they
that's
say.
separate. A lot of them
from
think that.
the,
A lot of them think they have to pay that 25% value of that, 25%, like this guy would have to write a check for $23,000. That's not true. He just gets taxed on another 23,000.
that's what we were trying to
Yeah, that's
explain to
right,
him.
Yeah, it's a
That's-
little
I think almost
complicated, and
every
they
one
get
of them.
scared when they get the statement.
And I think
Believe
almost every
me,
one
I-
of them had that problem.
Yes.
They freak out about it.
I always call it
Not nothing.
talking them off the edge of the cliff, because I'll get calls where they think they now owe incredible, like.
Yes,
You
yes,
know, this
yes.
guy,
That's what we were trying to
$23,000.
explain, and then I remember, Russ was, came in to tell us, no, and actually, I don't think because I kept saying, it's less than what you think.
Yeah,
It's not the 25%. Yeah, okay, I feel better.
So I think if he came to appeal, for us to waive the penalty, we cannot waive the penalty.
Right, can't waive
We
it.
have to
Correct.
deny
Mhm.
the penalty, and maybe we just approve. I don't know.
Well, I have a question. Do we even have to approve that? Because that has nothing to do with us. I mean, he came in here looking for us to waive his penalty.
Yeah.
But the
Which we
town
can't
must
do.
have had some value in the grand list, right?
From previous,
Right, but you put
declarations.
something through in the end of,
Right,
right.
Based on
Whatever that
previous-
value is, we're actually gonna increase that.
right, because we filed the
We're probably
declaration.
88,000
Probably was,
in
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and now it's 92.
Mhm.
So I guess we have to approve that
Yeah.
increase, and he technically probably has, a week or something to come and tell us it's not true, but obviously he signed this and gave us information. I don't think that's gonna happen. Whenever you raise someone's assessment,
Yeah.
you have to give him a week to come back
Well-
and talk to you. And technically, we are raising what he put in, the grand list
Right.
had 88, we're now saying he's 92.6.
Mhm.
So we're doing two of those things, right? I guess we're denying his,
Right.
his, wanting us to do that.
We're raising
And then
it.
we are voting to increase his assessment.
Okay.
Assessed value, not his appraised value, but his assessed value by
Mhm.
whatever the difference is between the 88, well, plus the penalty piece too. Whatever the difference between the 110, 810 and the 115, 850. Whatever that difference is, that increase.
So why don't we do it in two steps? Why don't we vote on the penalty, and then we'll vote on the change in the value. I think it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody okay with that?
Can I just say, I just did the math, the 88,000 was what we had done as his assessment, and the 110 was with the penalty. So that's what we had on the grand list,
Right.
So it is less than what's on there now.
than what he
It's gonna
declared.
happen.
Yes, yes. What was on the grand list was less than what he
What it is
declared.
now, right.
Yeah.
So that's why if I do the math, it looks like, unless I'm doing my math right, we also then have to increase his assessment by 5,040. A portion of that is the additional 25% of the penalty, the rest of that is the increase in his
Mhm.
deck. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
So since you have that all worked out, do you want to make a motion for that?
Yes.
Well, let's vote on we have a,
What-
I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
do it
vote on the
second,
penalty.
first.
I'll vote on the penalty first.
So, do you call that? I think you.
It doesn't matter, I can call it.
I mean, I think you've been calling the vote
Yeah, I can do
each
that.
time, yeah.
Well, first you have to do the thing, so I make a motion that we deny, removing the 25% penalty.
Actually-
By statute, we can't.
Yeah, I think the motion has to be in the affirmative and
No,
then
it
we all
doesn't
vote
have to be.
no.
Doesn't have to be. They could be, they should be, but they don't have to be.
Okay. Then you
By
have the
Robert's
double
rules.
negative. I know, that's what Jim Baldwin said a couple of years, because we were always used to vote to
Yeah,
deny.
deny.
Right.
And then you're never taking a vote on the appeal because you're voting on, yeah, I don't know. He explained it to me, you get yourself in a hole when you
At the end,
you
yeah.
do it
Well, it
negative.
gets confusing.
Right. So I think we just have to, so I think
So
his
you-
appeal was his question to us was to waive the penalty.
Okay.
And so that's the motion on the table is to waive his penalty.
So I'll make a motion then that we waive the 25% penalty.
Right.
All in favor? 0. Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, now part 2.
Now, I don't have it split out. I don't know if Paul has done the math
Do we
faster
have
or
to
not.
split it out?
What is penalty? Probably not, because it's just the total value that goes in the grand list, Paul, am I right?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll just make a motion that we are going to increase, the town's assessed value for, 111 Beach Road, Suite 2, from the 110,800 that was on the grand list, increasing it to 115,850 assessed for a total increase of $5,040. Did my math right?
Got it
So all
right?
those in favor?
It's
Anyone
unanimous.
opposed? Okay, so.
Like I said, I
unanimous.
think the statute reads anytime you increase someone's assessment,
Mhm.
they get a letter within a week.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yes, you have to send them a letter, that's
Right.
right.
Yeah, we always, we give them a week, anyway, we always send out all the decision letters within a
Right,
week.
but they have a week to come back and
Yeah,
get
he can come
another,
back,
right.
another hearing this March.
Yep,
Mhm.
Yeah, which is pretty, you can't do
Right.
that if it's a decrease.
Right,
They
you
can
can't,
do
no.
it.
Right.
okay, who's next?
And the next one is number 9, and it is Scott Benedetto, Oakwood Landscaping.
Oh, yeah.
I remember him,
Yeah,
yeah.
with the closet.
Yeah.
8 by 10 closet,
Yeah.
no windows.
Okay, what we did do is we just,
Can we just read it?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
Read it into the record. I think,
Oh.
it's appeal number 9, the property address is 400 Post Road, LL 10, the owner of the business is Oakwood Landscaping. The town has I'm assuming, has the assessed value at $7,410, and he requested a reduction to 0. Is that accurate, or did he change his amount in the hearing to
I don't remember him
some amount
changing
of
it.
the desk or something? No, okay.
No.
we, when we looked at it, since he did have something, we we estimated a small assessment of $350 with a 25% penalty of $90 for a total assessment of $440.
What did you look at?
We just went down to a very small amount of assessment. That's probably one of the smallest.
Oh, you didn't
We
actually
just
look?
No,
Okay.
mm-mm.
Did he then come down and file and sign with you?
But how do you do 25% of zero?
Well,
No, they're not
no,
doing zero.
that's
They assigned him a value.
No, I know.
we did an estimated assessment of $350.
And that's based on what equipment?
We don't really know, so we just did a,
Landscaping company, you gave it the lowest value?
yeah,
There
I
was
mean,
some form in
because
here that
he
showed that you had taken,
Right.
was this you guys? You took an average of the
of
Like it should say, we are recording. Now I can hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
got it now. Usually it says recording is started. That's what it said we were
And
doing.
that's
yeah.
probably me on the screen dialed in, right?
Oh, probably, yeah.
My phone's gonna hang up and see what happens.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to make sure I had the green was the right one. Okay,
Next,
number 12.
number 12.
Number 12, which is, I don't know how to say
We
it.
voted on that one, right? Did we vote on to grant that one?
Yes, we voted to grant that one, it was
Okay.
unanimous.
Energy well managed.
Yes. They, again, was another late filing. We took what they provided and calculated it.
Like a late filing,
Mm-hmm.
personal property.
By the way, on this one, we did ask for him to, give us that affidavit, which he said he dropped off, that should be in the file.
Yes, you mean this, yes. Yes, so we had done an estimated amount, but he asked for 1,052, but obviously he didn't know how to calculate it because we came up with a total of $940. I don't think he knew assessment was 70%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, so what, we have a total, based on his filing, of total assessment of $750 plus a penalty of $190 for a total of $940.
Okay. Any questions?
No, I mean, I can make that motion. 'Cause-
Go ahead.
So I'll make a motion to, this is appeal number 12, the
Mhm.
address is 136 Old Post Road, the owner of the property, right, is Energy Well Management LLC.
Mm-hmm.
The town value was $5,000, I guess
Mhm.
that would be with the penalty. And the original requested reduction was to 1,052, but I'm gonna make a motion to, reduce it to a total of $940 assessed, which is $750, for the, whatever you call it, for the declaration, and $190 in penalty, for the total of the $940.
What was the penalty again?
$190, $750 for a total of $940.
All in favor? It's unanimous. Next.
Also, we write down the time, because I think we put the time in minutes that we deliberated.
For each one?
Number
Yeah, so if someone wants to go back and listen to the tape, they know that they don't have to do
32?
every-
No, I'm sorry, I have I'm sorry,
There's only
24.
You're right.
Tonight's not a big deal, but.
Yeah, there's only 6 of these, you have to do it tomorrow.
It's been in the mail merge in the past, yeah.
Number 24,
Number 24.
which is tax accounting.
Wayne, waiving the penalty and provide the.
Tax Accounting US LLC, they're located at 1700 Post Road. We put, based on what they submitted, we have a total assessment, $6,400 with a penalty of $1,600. Total with the penalty is $8,000. They asked for 9,136.
And it's 8.
I think he was confused about
Assessment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In in the grand list, we had them at 5,000, is that accurate with the penalty? I have the town value is 5,000,
Yep.
so
Right,
this is
okay.
another increase, actually,
Mhm.
right? Once they file, it's actually higher. Does anybody have any issues with what he's declaring?
Well, in my notes, I have that he was asking for the, penalty to be waived.
Right, I do remember him
Yeah.
acknowledging that
Yeah.
his number was higher.
And he was okay with the higher number?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we said to him, are you sure?
Yes, we did.
Because we can't waive the, are you
Right.
confident in this number? And he said, yeah, so.
Yeah.
He wanted us to consider the penalty, even though we explained to him we couldn't, so.
But this is two, right?
Another one like the last, like the
I'll
other
make a
one.
motion to, waive the penalty on appeal number 24. I don't know if we said it, 1700 Post Road, E7, on the owner of the property's tax and accounting US LLC. Anyone?
All in
Everyone
favor?
in favor of,
Waiving the penalty.
No, waiving in
Oh,
favor
no,
of
sorry,
waiving the
right,
penalty.
sorry.
Right.
Opposed?
all those opposed.
Unanimous.
Again, for the record, it's because the state statute mandates that we can't waive it.
I wonder if we should put that on the website somewhere. You know, we don't have to do the appeals, I mean, I guess everybody has the right to an appeal, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it.
I'd always ask for a consideration even if I saw it, so. Although
and the
you
second-
did say state, yeah, if it's
Statute, yeah.
in state statute,
Maybe
don't
put that
ask
on
us.
there. That
We
people
have
wouldn't
compassion, we just can't.
Right. Can't do it, so.
Still would. Okay, next one, sorry.
No, wait,
Yep,
no.
that's okay, so there's a
That's
second part of that one.
Second part of
right?
that.
Yep, that's what I'm
Part two.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to, actually increase the assessed value for appeal number 24, 1700 Post Road, from, the town's value of assessed value of 5,000 to a new value of 8,000 assessed, which is made up of $6,400 for the declaration and a $1,600 penalty, for the total of 8,000.
And again, for the record, so that people understand, the total assessed, including the penalty, is then applied with the mill rate to get to the actual tax.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion on the table. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
The next one
Moving right
is
along.
number 32,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is.
and this,
25 a no-show?
yes.
Yes,
So do we have to vote no?
We never heard it, so we don't have to vote
I
anything.
thought we had to make a decision because they did file.
Oh.
Right, they did file
No,
an
but they
appeal.
didn't appear.
I know, I think in the
If you
past
don't-
we voted.
If they don't appear,
Okay.
I think in the minutes we've just denied it, and we said because of, they.
oh, that could be, I think you're right about
When
that.
they
That's true.
withdraw, that's different.
You're right,
If
yeah.
they don't show, I
Yeah.
think that's what we
I
did.
think you're right about that.
Mhm.
Okay, so which one, you want to do that one first then?
That was number 25.
25.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion, and I'll make it in the affirmative, to grant this is appeal number 25. The property address is 257 Reef Road. The owner of the property is Shaved LLC. The appellant was, he didn't show. So the town's value on the property is $457,400 assessed, I guess. Is this this personal property? Yeah, it is.
yeah, this is.
I know, okay, and is requesting a reduction
Oh, that's
to
right, yeah.
$220,290. However, the appellant did not show for the hearing.
So,
So that's my motion, right? Or I made a motion to, reduce it from the $457,400 down to $220,290.
all those in favor? Opposed? It's unanimous.
Again, this is a no-show
Right, no, so.
for the hearing.
I think that does go in the minutes, but because the appellant didn't show.
Yeah, because the appellant did not show.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one?
Number 32
Mhm.
is,
I thought it was the reshow.
It is the reshed.
for Il Pelicano,
Oh, Il Pelicano.
1460 Post Road. And,
The accountant came in.
yeah, okay, so we have a declaration,
the hearing again, sorry? What,
32?
32.
32, Il Pelicano.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and, we calculated what they put in their declaration for, assessment of $19,420, penalty of $4,860, for a total of $24,280. So, it went from $91,640 to $24,280.
And 19,400 was the assessment, and what was the penalty?
$19,420, and the penalty was $4,860.
I thought I saw someplace that he didn't start the business, he didn't start the lease until October 1 of 2022. Is that accurate? In which case he wouldn't.
No, he had the lease before that. He had, the signs were up in August. So, I mean, I would think
Where did I thought I saw that in a note someplace.
it said the date the business began was
Right.
10/1/22.
I mean, when he opened the doors.
Why on this, sheet does it have the 22,385 crossed out and it's 29,005?
I think that, I'm
That's your
pretty sure that's
handwriting.
my handwriting,
Oh,
because he changed his amount.
Again, probably didn't understand assessment, because we have a lower amount,
yeah.
based on on the declaration he filed.
When he filed the declaration.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait a minute, so he's saying,
I mean, it does say on page 3 that the lease term, begin and end dates was 10/2/2022.
Was the second lease,
Yeah, I mean, right,
right, unless he renewed his
Yeah.
lease or something.
Oh, he's talking about leasing, equipment.
oh, is that, okay, I'm sorry.
That's supposed to be what that is, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you for clarifying that.
But he had other equipment prior to that he's being taxed on, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, he absolutely did,
He did, okay.
yeah.
Can we make a motion? Okay, so this is appeal number 32. The property address is 1460 Post Road. The owner of the property is, Il Pelicano, is that right?
mm-hmm.
The town had the personal property valued at, $91,640 assessed. And the appellant requested a reduction to $22,385. However, we're going to reduce it to, $24,280, which is $19,420 for the personal property, and then $4,860 in penalty, with a total of $24,280.
Mhm.
I guess it's a partial or something.
All those in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Of the new assessed
The new
value.
assessed, yeah,
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Which again includes the penalty, and I'm not sure he asked for it to be waived. I don't see that he
I don't
asked for it
remember
to be
that.
I don't
waived.
remember.
Yeah,
So,
Good.
yeah, I think
Yep.
he knew that.
So it's unanimous.
And he didn't file at all, right? It's not like he filed something else.
No, well, he filed in February,
So he filed late.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's late, yeah.
yeah,
We get.
yeah, he was aware of the penalty and was okay with it. Okay,
Mhm.
so that was unanimous, did we?
Yes, that was unanimous.
Next one is appeal number 50, and it's Min Sung Yoon at 1300 Post Road, Suite 101, which is a dental office.
Oh, yeah, it's just, we got new, equipment.
Couple of chairs and,
Yeah, this one, we did receive a declaration.
I'm sorry, what was the?
50.
I do, thank you.
557.
Mhm.
The town has them at 143,400, and he's asking for 100,380, is that correct?
I see the town's value as $100,380.
The town's value,
I'm sorry, you're right, 100,380, and he's asking for,
64,295, but again, we're not sure if that's.
but in his declaration, when we calculated based on what he did, we came out with 94,140. As, there's no penalty, they did file.
so I'm a little bit confused. If they did the declaration on time, so there's no penalty, and they,
Okay, I think this one, I'm not positive, but I know there was one that we could not locate, and then we did finally find it. This may be that one. So,
I have him asking for 92,860, is that correct?
Well, his form says 64,295.
Yeah, there was a bunch of chairs, remember, that were new, and he was,
right,
I remember him talking about why
I
he
remember the
didn't,
chairs.
got
Yeah.
increased or
Mhm.
not, and he said, oh, yeah, I guess we did buy some new chairs because we expanded. Yeah, I have 92,000 in my notes, I don't know.
he also
92,860,
had
yeah.
expense supplies, which I guess, I mean, it was 92,860 for
Right.
furniture and fixtures, but
Right.
he also had expense supplies, which was 2,280 to come out.
I
So that would be
I
the
think this
difference
was one
between
where he
92
was,
and the
he
94.
was fine with it.
Wait a minute.
Did it?
Right, the
And I don't
accountant did
think he, and his accountant
I remember that one.
understood.
Yeah, there was some kind of a
He didn't
disconnect
understand
between
what
the
his accountant
two.
had done.
Yep,
So the difference
think he
is
walked away and was like,
did you
okay,
say was that
fine.
2,000?
Right, I think he was, he said he was, yeah, I think we were here for that.
Expense
Oh, we were.
Is it 95,000?
95,140, yeah.
95, that's
Yeah.
what I see, if I do the math.
supplies. Yeah,
Okay.
it's 95,140.
95,140, not 94 and 140.
Yeah.
So this number,
So what's the change?
94,140 is incorrect?
No, 90, yeah, it should be 95,140.
Is that written
Where
down
it says it
somewhere?
right there.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just like one of
Yeah,
those.
okay.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, it just got carried down wrong on the forms?
Yeah, that's all it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. All right, I'll make a motion to, approve, this is appeal number 50, property address 1300 Post Road, Suite 101, Evergreen Prosthetic Associates LLC. The town has the property or whatever, personal property valued at $100,380 assessed. And the appellant had originally requested a reduction to $64,295. However, I'll make a motion to reduce it to, assessed value of $95,140.
all those in favor? Unanimous.
Okay.
Okay,
Is that all of them?
that's all personal property.
Okay,
It's only 6:00.
yeah. So I have a question, as long as we're done, so we're done with those.
Mhm.
I wanna go back to Peter's, when Peter started, the statement that we should disclose if we know anybody.
We know lots of people. I mean, if you know, or you've had contact with them outside of, about the appeal, outside of,
oh, about the
About the
appeal.
appeal.
Oh.
Oh,
You know,
that's
just
different.
in general, if
Oh.
you feel that.
I mean, I know the appraisers
Yeah, we know
from my
that.
professional,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
not personally, but from my
yeah,
professional.
I would just say for, when we're approaching the, whatever appeal, right?
Yeah.
I think that should be declared, upfront, just so that we know what's going on. So as I said, one of the appellants came in and, I knew that person, I don't know them well, I just know them, so.
But did you talk about the appeal?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know, if we should recuse ourselves
Yeah.
from voting on something. If,
Yeah.
I think that's the most
sister or your
important
brother, I don't know, but I don't think we've
My brother
come
did
across
come.
that at this point.
My brother did come and I gave him a file, but that was not a appeal file, that was a put in an offer file while I'm sitting here.
Yeah. But I mean,
Mhm.
being a Realtor, as you know, I can't tell you how many people, other Realtors have asked us, how do you do this? How does it work? How does this
Right.
work? And I've sat down with a Realtor and said, here's what you need to do.
Right.
And, and
Well,
told
we
them,
had a
and then
meeting.
they
We actually had a
met their
meeting on it
client.
at the Board of Realtors, how do you,
So,
how,
yeah.
how to file an appeal.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much how to file the appeal, though, we didn't really talk about that much, it was like, this is what it is, this are the things you
The
need to.
process.
this is what
The process
you're
of
looking
going
for,
through the
this is
process.
how you prove your
Right,
case,
this is what we wanna see, don't do it this way, we don't look at that kind of thing. Which I think would be a good thing to do for the public, it may save us a lot of trouble.
Carol's gonna do a video.
Well, that's what, yeah.
He's so good at it.
Yeah.
God, no.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just about being transparent, in all of it. And I think that's a good thing. So if you sold them a house, right, or you bought them a house, or you knew them,
Well, one of them is
that doesn't
realtor.
No, it's just a,
You don't disclose it and then say, but, I'm just disclosing it, but I don't feel like it's gonna influence my
Yeah.
vote, or that I feel that this is a
Right.
conflict of interest, and then at least you're on the record of saying, you
I have no problem.
I don't have a problem with it, and it's
Yeah.
not influencing my vote. Or if you got information outside, like, it says, like, if you get information from talking from the assessor, and it's influencing your decision, you need to disclose where you got that
Yeah.
information from, with the rest of the board.
Right.
If you talk
yeah.
to the assessor, right? So, in other words, whether it's in it, you disclose it by attaching stuff to the file through your emails, or you say it in the meeting, at least you're saying, this is it. I got this information, and it's influencing my vote, and I got it from the assessor, so that we all have access to the same information.
So if somebody sent me something to put in the file, is that what you're talking about?
Well, it would be in the file anyway, so there's no.
Right, they put it in the file.
But again, I guess, I guess, are they sending it to you as a, like they know you, or are they sending it to you as part of the, like they sent it to the BAA and it went to you? Like that's,
Oh, yeah,
I guess
they're
that's,
sending it to me or Helene or somebody, they're sending it to you because you're part of the BAA and they don't know where else to send it.
Right.
Yeah.
They could send it to the assessor's office, we could tell them to do that, but,
I mean, that's usually what I do, I usually say,
For example-
email it to BAA, don't send it to my personal email, because one, I could forget about it, go in my spam, and two, you want everybody else, you want everybody to see it, right, at the same time you get it, so that's sort of, yeah.
for example, now somebody texted me and wanted to change their appointment. So I called the office and said, could you change the appointment? She's away in Vermont, so she's never gonna make this appointment. I didn't give her the appointment. The office gave it to her. She asked for morning. There was no more mornings, it was one. So I texted her back and I said, there's no more morning appointments. So, well, it's only one day, so pick something else. She said she couldn't do it at night. So I gave that information to, I don't know who it was, the woman that was helping us, I don't remember.
Probably Michelle.
It was Michelle, maybe it was Michelle. And so I gave it to her, and then there was a whole big hubbub down there because I changed somebody's appointment when I was on. I didn't make the original appointment, and I was on that day too. I was on every day. No one asked me. They just assumed that I was trying to give her an appointment when I was around. So they could have just asked.
Yeah.
And then we had Ross running up to the, sending I don't know if he sent a letter or if he spoke to him on the phone, the selectman's office, because, what did I do? Oh, I asked about, I do research on them. So I asked Ken if they had made any changes on the property value, because that was the appeal. And I didn't see any on the cards I was talking to, but I'm like, this looks like, was anything done here? Was anything done here? What I did notice was that they had upgraded, they said they were upgrades. So when I looked at the pictures, I didn't think those were great upgrades, and they were a long time ago. They were not 2000 2010 upgrades. They were from the 90s. So I was just trying to clarify, like, if the assessor upgrades something way after the fact, do they depreciate part of that? Because it's not new. So you give it 100% or something like, I don't know, and I was trying to get an idea of if it was done in the 90s and it's 2023, how much of I couldn't quite get that information. Then the next thing I know, I'm getting a call from the selectman's office that I was trying to manipulate. I wasn't trying to manipulate, I was asking an honest question.
Is it about an appeal that's before us?
Yes, because I wanted to
So
know.
I would just say, in that instance, when we talk about it, we just have to disclose.
Why do I have to disclose that?
To us as a board.
Why do I have to disclose it to anybody if I was, are you gonna tell me about everybody you looked up comps for?
I think if I had a conversation with the assessor, no, not if I looked up the comp, but if I had a conversation with the assessor about it, I would tell you what I learned, or, what information, like in the last 48 hours or whatever, I've been emailing a bunch of stuff to the office. Could you put a copy of this? Could you add to this house?
Yeah, you have
picture,
to.
add it to the file, stuff that, right, the stuff that I think, and I'm gonna tell you, I emailed the assessor's office, and here's the new photos now in the file, so we all can see the picture of the property, when it's finished.
Well, you'd find out anyway, because when we were discussing it,
Right,
I would
and then
say-
we disclose it.
I would say, well,
Exactly.
I already checked on this,
Yeah.
or I checked on this, so, I know in advance that this is the way this is.
Right.
I verified the information, let's put it that way.
Right.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that would come out. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Okay. But if we disclosed everybody we know, and we accused ourselves, there'd be nobody on board.
I don't think that's what.
Yeah, disclosing is different than recusing. It's a little bit of both.
Could we
Keep moving.
keep moving? Can
We're
we
done.
hear other?
There are no others.
No, we're gonna do motor vehicle.
Why
tonight,
can't
I thought.
we?
Oh, we set to do motor vehicles? I'd be happy to do motor vehicles, those would take no time
I
at
know,
all.
there's only 3 of them. I thought they were on the agenda tonight, personal
No,
property.
I thought they're on the Thursday agenda if we had to.
I had to revise the agenda. Well, that's what you told me to do.
I think we were afraid that we didn't know how long they were gonna take, and I think we
That
were
was
afraid that
done.
we wouldn't get.
Last week, I revised it.
Oh, I mean, we can make a
Well, now, if
motion
we make a
and add
motion
them
to do
tonight
them
if
now,
we don't
let's
feel.
just, wanna do that?
We can,
Let's
it's
just
a
do it.
regular meeting, we can add
Okay,
to the agenda
yeah.
if we want.
Right,
Yeah.
Are we
Go ahead,
ready?
make a motion,
Are
let's
you
go.
all to help us with
I'll
the
go
motor
down,
vehicles?
yes.
Wait a minute, we don't need any help with the motor vehicles, we're done.
Well, I
When you
have,
do that, you need
Yes.
the assessor.
I was just gonna
No,
get you
just
the
get the
folder.
file.
Okay,
Just get the
that's
file.
all.
When you see what when you see what they are, tell you
well, we have questions on the classic plates,
We can
right?
eliminate
Customer
everything
request.
on Thursday, so it's more than just the motor vehicles.
What is it?
Well, let me go to the
That
agenda
was just motor
on
vehicles.
Thursday.
There were commercials, there were 2
There were
commercials.
several, yeah.
There's a couple
Can
commercials.
you just wait a second,
I
I'll
don't
have
have ready
you pull
to
them
do.
all.
I didn't,
I don't know, we could try, I don't know if
but
we'll get
the
them all,
motor
but we
vehicles,
could try.
I thought I was.
Those are fast.
Well, I'm just saying, it saves us from Thursday meeting completely.
We can try. I'm willing to try.
What time do we need to be done, by 7?
7, Peter has to be done by 7.
Yep. Okay,
Somebody else needs to, right? Someone else has to.
Da-da-da-da.
I didn't have it.
Carol.
I'm rushing.
I thought Carol needed to be done.
I have a, well, I have.
Oh, that's right, you have
board
to-
meeting at 7:30.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Right, there were 2 classic plate
Mm-hmm.
appeals, and then one was that Mercedes,
Mercedes,
the
yep.
2017.
But you got the information on the Mercedes from Ross,
2023.
right?
I just got information on the Mercedes from Ross, yeah. I asked them to do the mileage calculations.
We were doing it together.
Okay.
I mean, I started to do it too, and then all of a
Okay.
sudden, I'm like, where's the book? And he had, there's a book.
They're not a book, right.
Okay, so for March 16th on Thursday, we had appeal number, 7, which is commercial, appeal number 38, which is commercial, and then we had 3 motor vehicles, number 15, 19, and 41.
Okay, let me go down and pull the
Yes,
folders.
please. I mean, and in the meantime, I think we can start if most of us have access to the Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
we can do that.
so, sorry, I'm just moving right along.
Okay,
So, what did I just say?
what file? So what's the first, which, what are we doing first?
Can I do the motor vehicle?
Let's do the motor vehicles first. So what's
Yeah.
the first motor vehicle in numerical order? 15?
In numerical order would be it's 15, then
Yep.
19, then,
41?
41, yeah,
All right, so who's 15?
okay.
That's
So,
Alexis.
That's what.
Do
Oh,
you
yeah, I remember
wanna-
that guy.
look at it with me.
That's okay, I got it memorized. I got it on my paper. I took that on.
You have it in your paintbrush.
Paper.
Oh.
I took notes on it. It's pretty
You have it
straightforward.
memorized?
I've read it 100 times.
Jesus.
Wait, file
Okay.
15? Number 15.
Yeah. 01.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alexis, yeah.
Okay, so his point was that this vehicle's over 20 years old.
Well, let's make a motion to add the motor vehicles
Okay.
to the agenda. I'll make that
Go
Go
motion.
ahead.
I'll make a motion to add, appeals number 15, 19, and 14, it's the 41, the 3 motor vehicles to tonight's agenda.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Okay, hold on, let me just put that unanimous vote to add. Okay. I'm just looking through the file. Somebody jump in if they're having a recollection. He has the photos here.
Right, he's,
Looking for the deduction for antique
right, he wants
cars.
to be, he wants his value to be no more than, actually, I think he said 750, but actually the statute says 500.
It's 500 assessed, because I had a old car with that plate on it. And it's, the amount you get assessed, taxes changes based on the mill rate.
Mhm.
But yeah, for
Right,
classic cars, but you have to have a classic plate.
he has a classic plate.
Oh, I thought the Lexus did not have a classic
They
plate.
both have classic plates, don't they?
And you
Well,
get
we'll
taxed
see in a
in
minute.
arrears. That's what I just need to
We'll see in a
figure out.
minute.
That was going to be my question.
I
was,
thought they both had classic plates, maybe I'm wrong.
What were the dates?
Hold on. There was a piece of paper
Well, we're
that
doing
we were
appeal number
looking at
15.
Okay, thanks.
that said, remember he did
Let me take a
this
look at that,
act
please.
concerning the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah, see, that's the guy that,
Antique, rare, or special interest means a motor vehicle 20 years or older which is being preserved because of historic interest and which is not altered or modified from the original specification.
And he said he's not doing that, he's using,
So,
he's not using aftermarket parts.
I don't believe he had,
Oh, yes, but remember, you know, I forgot, that one of them doesn't have classic plates, so this could be the guy.
This
But-
one, he does
he
not.
doesn't have
but,
them.
however,
but, yes, go ahead.
we asked, remember we went downstairs?
Yes, Helen,
We asked,
Mhm.
who did you talk to, was that
two
Michelle?
different, Helen tells us two different things.
Right.
He went back to a motor vehicle and they said, no, you don't need it. And then the assessor's office is saying, you do need it.
No, they said they didn't need it.
Oh, you didn't know, maybe it was the opposite?
You
There was
have to, you have to
somebody
file,
from, who was it, Michelle?
yeah, you have to fill out a form, though, an affidavit. No, I mean, it's
I don't know
just
if you knew
for,
that.
yeah, you do, it's just a form we have, you just have to fill that out.
But he filled it out in January.
So that's why he didn't fill it
This is
out
the
prior to
affidavit.
October
Form
one.
says what?
We're looking
I
at
don't
the
have classic
affidavit.
plates.
Right, but he filled it
Well,
out
it
in
says that-
January.
yeah, that I'm, you know,
He had to fill it out by
basically says,
December
I
2nd,
am not,
2022 in order
this
to-
is, I'm saving
I
this
see
car
that
for historical
2022
purposes, I haven't
Yeah.
altered it, you know, beyond its factory specifications, blah, blah, you know, and then, so you
Also
don't
needs
have
to
to have
have plates.
the plates.
You do not have to have the.
Don't have to have the plate.
You
Nope.
just have to fill this form out by December 2nd, and this is for arrears, so is he trying to get, right, because we do motor vehicles in arrears. So
Right.
This is for his October,
Right. So it's supposed to be, I thought it was supposed to be filed by October first.
Now, how would he know
That form?
the form
Yeah.
says to be considered for the
Says right here, yes.
2022 grand list. This form must be completed and submitted to the assessor's office no later than December
Okay.
2nd, 2022 by 4:30.
Okay,
And
It
provide
says it
for-
right, like the first line of the form.
Mm-hmm.
so,
To request a reduction for the 2021 grand list, you'll need to submit this form along with the pictures in person to the Board of Assessment Appeals on September 7th, 2022. So that
he
was
didn't
for
do
the
that, okay.
2021 grand list.
mhm.
But now he's appealing the 2022 grand list? And that's what he's
Right,
saying.
he's
yeah,
doing the
He
2022
He
grand
didn't
list.
turn the form in
Right,
time.
nope.
Okay. So he'll be all right for next year.
When do they, how do they know they have to turn the form in? 'Cause I wouldn't have
It
known.
says right on the form he's
No,
signing.
I wouldn't have known I had to fill out a form.
I don't know how people,
The Land Cruiser.
I mean, we get,
My daughter, she's driving my mom's 1999.
My kids
Camry.
say you could take that Corolla's engine, drop it in swamp with like poison and toxic chemicals, take it out, stick it back in the car, and the Corolla will still go.
Are we back on or no?
we're back on.
Okay.
So anyway, but I guess,
Mhm.
So I'll read it. I mean, this is appeal number 15. The vehicle is a 1999 Lexus LX 470. The owner of the vehicle is David Tortorelli. The town has the, vehicle assessed at, $8,900, and the appellant is requesting a reduction to assessed value of $500.
so I have a thought.
All right, motion is to reduce it to the requested value of $500.
Why don't we grant in part and reduce it to not a book value?
The what?
That's what it is. That's the $8,900.
I thought it was 7,600. Maybe I missed
We're
something.
talking about a different,
Oh, that was a different car?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake.
Mhm.
My mistake, never mind, sorry.
Yeah, so the motion is
Okay,
to
so
reduce to
no
the
one-
appellant's requested value of $500, right? That's the motion.
That's the motion then, yep.
All those who,
All those in favor? Opposed?
again, for the record, we're opposing because it was filed late.
We're on a roll.
Next year
Yeah, not the appeal was filed late, but what do you call that?
is affidavit was
Affidavit,
filed beyond what's
rare
required.
special interest vehicle.
And it's clearly marked on the form. Okay.
The next one would be, what was it, 1517 is next, Joe?
19.
19,
And then,
That's the Mercedes.
that's the Mercedes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is, okay, I think Kathleen got everything from Ross, right?
Yeah, did he update it, or,
I don't know,
for the record, this is appeal number 19, it's a 2017 Mercedes GLS 550. The owner of the vehicle is Colette M. Carlson. The town has the vehicle assessed at $58,475. Is that accurate or appraised?
It's probably assessed, because I think we only talk about assessed.
I'll have to look at it. If someone's got the,
Yeah,
if
I'll
you have
look at
the
it.
appeal up,
I do, I have
and
it
if
too.
you would see her, most of them put their bill in there. I don't know if her bill's in there.
I don't, let me look, she's,
And
yeah,
she
wait a minute.
requested a reduction to $30,000, and again, I don't,
But
but
when we
we
have
have this at $40,930 in my notes, so maybe that's the appraised value is the $58,475.
Yes, because here it says
Accurate.
net assessment, $40,930.
That's the current net assessment.
That's the-
Okay, so her
so
assessed
the-
value of $40,930, and
Okay.
she's requesting a reduction to $30,000.
Mhm.
Is that appraised or assessed that she's asking for?
That's,
I think she meant
that's market value. No,
Yeah.
the 30,000 is the,
appraised, right.
okay, yeah,
right.
okay,
You want to
yeah,
talk-
fair market value,
What do
yep.
we usually do with vehicles? Do we talk appraised or assessed? I don't remember.
Well, when you look at the NADA book, it's the market value.
So it's appraised. So maybe we should just do it as appraised.
Yeah, we'll use the word
Which is the
appraised, yeah.
$58,475
Yeah.
with a requested value, market value, or appraised value of $30,000. That's her request. Okay. And so I don't know, because I just emailed him at the end of the day, because I think she said the car had, 81,000 miles on it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I don't know if that was as of October 1st, 2022, or that's the current mileage. I think it's
So-
probably the current mileage. She included a screenshot of the odometer, so unless she took a screenshot last October.
She probably
Well,
does.
my handwriting says you called Paulette.
Yep, I was gonna wait to see what Ross had to say.
Okay.
Let me see if he added it to the end here. I basically, I don't see it in here, so I have to call it my email. I basically asked him to look at the NADA book and figure out based on that mileage, whether there was an adjustment up or down, whether the mileage was under or the mileage was over. And I think, Paula, you were probably part of that conversation.
Yes.
So you can explain it faster than I can find myself.
Okay.
Call it up.
What Ross did was he took the 81,000 miles, divided it by 6 years, 6 years old. He said, well, then I'll take, so that was 13,000 roughly a year. He said, I'll times that by 5 to go back in time to October 1, and that came out to 67,611. So basically he's saying, I'm gonna go backwards. When you look at the chart as to mileage, that amount of mileage would be, you would add more to the value.
It's under the NADA book, 15,000.
Right, if it had, no change is 75 to 80,000 miles. So it's,
Okay, and Paulette?
So when I looked at this, I thought that a car, how old is this car?
2017?
2000, that's right, because I have the letter from the dealer, okay. So I thought to myself, a 2017 Mercedes, and the town's saying it's worth 58,000. Now, she bought the car last year,
mhm.
Well, I thought you said 2020.
2020, I thought you said last year, maybe she was, I can't remember which, I thought she said last year.
Let me see what
Well, it might have been 2020, I don't remember, I thought I heard last year, but I could be wrong. So if she said 2020, then I stand corrected, it's 2020.
2020, yeah.
Okay,
50,000.
so she bought the car in 2020 for 50,000.
Yeah.
Now we're 2 years later, because this should have been as of October 2022, and the town's saying it's worth 58,000.
I would say that we had the pandemic affect the shortage of cars, and so everyone, the majority of cars went up in value.
Yeah, and we would think that,
With
because
the
that's what everybody's telling us. So I found in her file, which I'm sure you all saw it, the letter from the dealer. It's offering her a trade for her car. So it gives her the, trade value, which we're not using.
Right.
So I looked at the trade value and I said, well, it's only like 25,000 and change. So how could the car be worth that much money? It can't be that much of a difference between the trade value and the retail value. So I called the woman who wrote the letter, Kelly Lynn Anderson. She's the new car sales manager at Mercedes in Fairfield.
Mhm.
And she knew the car. And I said to her, well, I have the letter, but I don't have what's the fair market value? Because we're not looking at the traded value, obviously. And she said, well, we talked about mileage. We talked about what they allow for mileage per year, and it's 12,000. So with 12,000 miles a year for that many years, then I said, well, would I pay 35,000 for it? She said, no, that would be too much. I said, what, I paid 30,000? Or, I think I said 32, I said 30,000, and she said, that'd be about right. So what about 32,000? She said, no, that's still too much. So I understand what the book says, but I find that book to be always higher than everybody else. If the fair market value of this car, if I went to buy it, and it's 30,000, then how could the town say it's 58,000?
Because we are by state statute, we have to use the guidebooks that they give us, which is the NADA book. And yes, they tend to be higher than Kelly Blue books, believe me, we see that a lot. But we have to, I mean, that's just for being equitable and fair, is to, you know, I mean, so that's why you're here. So if, you know, people want to say that there's mileage or it's damaged or.
She did complain about it, but she said there was a dent in it, but then when I asked her about it when she was here, she said, oh, it's just a little ding, so I'm not even considering it.
Seeing a picture of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
just, I don't see anything, yeah.
And I think it's loaded, right, the car?
The car is loaded, yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, I mean, this does say that the trade-in here was 110, and she has 67,000 miles, so it's not quite half of what this
Traded on,
is, right?
from the book, you mean?
Whatever this document is from the dealership, from the one, it was quoted based on a mileage of 110,000, and she's got 67,000 miles.
Right, but when I talked to, that's the trade-in. When I talked to the woman at the dealership, I said to her, well, 12,000 miles a year. So then what would the car be worth?
Got it.
Because I didn't even, because what I said to her was, what do you consider, like, what do you allow for mileage before you start saying, well, that's high mileage? And she said, 12,000 a year. So that's what we went on.
So she's asking for 30,000.
She's asking for 30,000.
And the town is saying 58,475?
Yep.
Okay.
I say that's a big difference.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is, I don't mean to say it this way, but I don't care what the book says, because I know you have to follow it.
Correct.
But our job is to find fair market value. And here we have somebody at Mercedes doing this all day long, every day, telling us that to buy it for 30,000, but 35,000 is too much. So, in my opinion, the 58 is way off.
It appears that way.
I mean, I don't know, I just say everybody else has to follow the book. I don't know how many vehicles there are registered in the town of Fairfield,
Well,
but,
the whole state has to follow the book.
right, but even in Fairfield alone, right, everybody else, you know, they're all paying the same. All their books are, everybody's being valued the way that NADA values everybody, and NADA takes data
Right.
from the state of Connecticut, comes up with their numbers and does their work. So, I mean, if she had a lot of damage in the car, if it had super high mileage on it, I would, you know, I think I would support some kind of a reduction, but she's actually under on her mileage, you know, so we actually could go up if we read the NADA book, because she's got less miles than it would normally be on that vehicle. So,
Not really, because.
well,
if she-
according to the NADA book, you
Well,
would
I'm not
have.
using the book. I'm using
I know, but I
12,000
am.
miles a year. At 15,000 miles a year.
Okay, you'd add $1,300 to it if the mileage was between 65 and 70. That's what the NADA book says. So, I mean, you know, I just vote based on the book and try to adjust, you know, if the car's been in a bad accident, they come and show us there's something really wrong with it, or it has super high mileage, then I'm in favor of, you know, reductions for that. But in this case, you know, I won't support it just because I don't see it, and I just want it to be, everybody in town to kind of have it be fair.
But it's never gonna be fair, because as you know, you go for a tax appeal, I don't, we have the same house. Your assessment might get lowered, mine won't, because I didn't come. I didn't know to come.
We're
So this
going
lady
on a
comes with
slippery
her car.
slope by taking large amounts of money off of high-end.
I don't see a slippery slope, I see what's fair and what's not fair. So that's your way of looking at it, that's fine. My way of looking at it is, our job is to find fair market value. I went and found the fair market value. The book is not the fair market value. That's according to Mercedes. So if they do this all day long and they tell me what the fair market value, they said, say it's 35,000, say it's 40,000, it's still way lower than the book.
Well, what about a compromise in between the two, 30,000 or 50? That's a big difference.
That's a big difference.
And I mean, I understand what you're saying, Kathleen, you make the point, everybody uses the NADA book, but then again, in terms, if you compare that to real estate, everybody uses the assessor's value, and then we work off of that. That's why we're the appeals board, to come and appeal that number. So, you know, in this case, the appellant is appealing the number from NADA.
I know, I think vehicles are a lot more easy to compare than real estate is one to the next, right? I mean,
Sure.
Mercedes with this amount of options in blue.
Fewer variables.
Exactly the
Fewer
same.
variables, yeah.
There's almost none, right, other than damage and mileage
Well,
and lemons or whatever.
I guess my thought would be, if Mercedes could get 58,000 for it, why would they sell it for 30? They wouldn't.
Well, you're saying that's trade-in value.
No, the trade-in value's on that letter, it's 25 and change, with higher mileage. So you have to factor that, but we're not looking at the trade-in value.
I know, I just think, I mean, whatever. I think we
Okay,
can more,
you're not-
I think we can just vote, or someone's gonna make, yeah, it's a philosophical place, that's where I'm gonna be with the cars. I'm trying to be consistent, and that's where I've always been, and I'm probably gonna stay there.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting and valuable information that you got, Paulette. I'd be willing to compromise somewhere in the middle, between that 30,000 and 58,475.
I could do that.
Stuck on this one.
Well,
And
you
Paul,
want
can I
to
just ask,
there's only
it just,
three.
you know, when I was listening to this appeal, I mean, do you know this person? I mean,
do I know who?
the appellant and/or the.
Why does that matter?
Well, because if they
I don't
were,
have to
if
answer
you had
that.
conversations about this car.
I didn't have
outside of this-
conversations with the appellant until she got here,
Okay.
okay? I don't have to answer that, so I'm not
Well,
going to.
but, I mean, you can't answer if you had.
I can
know
answer,
the-
I can answer, be happy to answer, however, just like when I ask you to tell us why you won't know, you don't answer. So I don't really have to answer that. Are you gonna question every one of them because you don't have the
I
number?
may, yes.
Okay, well then the answer is no, I'm not telling you, done.
Okay.
Let's vote. You wanna come up with a, I thought, you know,
I think I made a motion to reduce it to what she requested, which was the 30,000, so.
well, okay, so we have to vote on that one before we.
No, or
Actually,
you
we have
can
two
just
motions on
amend
the
it,
table
you
at
do
the
a
same
friendly
time.
amendment, I don't think
So-
we're doing.
I'd rather.
Oh, you wanna pick a number?
The
I should
amendment,
pick a number?
45. That's almost halfway, a little more than halfway.
Okay, we'll make them, you know.
I make a motion that we, grant this, appeal in part, from the appellant's number of 30,000, granted to 45,000. All in favor? All opposed? Okay.
Okay, done. Tonight. But now, do we have to vote on the other one?
I mean, technically, depending upon what rules we're using, if we were using, Robert's rules, that was an amendment, the amendment failed, then the original motion's back on the table.
Okay,
If we're
so-
doing it that way, but then we're back to voting to.
Well, if it makes it easier, like, if it
I
makes
don't
it
know,
clearer
for
for
Kathy,
people to
for the minutes,
understand,
it
then
might be easier.
it might be easier for us, so let's go back to that
So
original
the
motion.
original
then.
motion was to reduce to 30,000, so that's a motion on the table.
All in favor of reducing the value to 30,000? All in favor? Doesn't matter anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Opposed?
You just need to write down who
I'll have
voted,
it, but
which way, who voted which way.
stuck on both. So,
Remind me to sell these guys a car when I'm done with mine.
Was that 2-3? Is that what we were,
It was 2 in favor, 3 opposed.
on both? On
Yeah,
both
it was
the
the same.
amendment and.
Yes, it was the same on
and-
both, yeah.
Okay, so Kathy just needs to know.
Here you go,
So just
Paul.
read out, so it was, right, Paulette and
It was-
Helene in
Oh,
favor.
Paul and Helene were in favor of,
amendment to 45 denied,
Failed.
or failed.
The original motion,
Do I have to say who it was? or-
yeah, technically. When it's not a unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you do have to say who it was. Oh, and I guess we should say why we're voting,
In
why we
favor.
denied it. Anybody interested in saying why they
I mean,
denied that?
philosophically, I think I explained why. I would have even upped it by 1,700 to adjust for the low mileage, but I didn't make that motion.
Let me just say that, that's fine, whatever. I'm just saying that that is not low mileage. $61,000 on that car is not low mileage. Low mileage would have
Compared
been
to
like,
nada.
would have been like 35,000 or 40.
No one's coming in with their low mileage anyway, so I wouldn't do that for,
Yeah,
right?
nobody's coming in
People
with
don't
that.
come in
Yep,
with their low
that's
mileage.
true. Okay. Next.
And then appeal number 41, right? That's the last one.
Oh, yeah, that's a
the last
classic
one.
plate one too.
So that's a 2001 BMW Z8. The owner of the property, the owner of the vehicle is George Seiler. And I believe the town has the vehicle appraised. Is that right? And just, again, I want to make sure we get the numbers right. At $76,825.
Actually, he's not the owner, he's the lessee.
Oh, he's a
Oh, that's right, that's,
But
The
he
leasing,
has a,
I'm just saying, you know, he's the,
Oh, and
He's gotta
right,
pay the tax.
valid plates were put on.
but
Right,
he
the
does
wrong
have a
plates were put
letter,
on.
he has
Yeah.
a letter from the dealer saying that he
Yeah.
can appeal
Right,
the
yeah.
property, so that's fine. But I just wanna make sure we are stating the, amounts correctly. Is the 76,825 assessed or appraised, do we know? I don't think he included a copy of his tax bill, most of the others did. He didn't.
I remember this one, I must have left.
And he's asking for 715. So 715, so that must be appraised, because 715 would be also the appraised value if the
Right.
assessed is 500, so that probably makes sense. Okay, so the town has the appraised value on the vehicle of 76,825, and he's requesting a reduction to 715 appraised, which would match the 500 assessed for a classic vehicle.
Yep.
So I didn't really understand, I mean, someone else talk about it, but I didn't really understand what his issue was with the dealer and that he was allowed to, there was a mistake with the plates or something.
yeah,
Yeah, he bought it through, what did he throw on?
I think
Oh, Premier, and then, and they put the wrong plates on.
So here's, you know, I mean, listening to him, he said he's got multiple classic vehicles, so this guy knows about this, he knows about the law. You know, I don't see, I mean, if he has an issue with, you know, the dealer's mistake, then he's gonna have to take it up with the dealer.
Did he file one of those forms?
he filed the form on January 18th, 2023.
Yeah.
That
But
classic
remember-
plate.
No, that's the
Or whatever.
affidavit of his,
Oh,
that's the affidavit of representing. I don't
oh,
think.
no, it's the same day, he signed it January 18th, 2023.
But you have the affidavit for the,
Yeah.
It's not in the file.
oh, it's not in the file.
Oh,
You're talking about the classic car affidavit, that thing?
Okay,
Yeah.
so he
Okay,
filed it
we have
late.
a different affidavit, we have the affidavit of him
When-
representing himself.
But, yes, it's in.
No, it's in the file.
Oh, it is?
December, yeah.
Has to be in by, when
Is it
does that
after the
even fall?
pictures?
Before-
December,
Right
By the
there,
end of
second page.
December.
By the end of December of the previous
You
year.
have to refresh.
So he's late,
right.
basically. Okay.
Mhm.
No, that's,
But he-
that affidavit is page 3 you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about.
But he-
Oh, I see it. Oh, yeah.
He's looking for retroactive reimbursement.
You can't,
Right.
going forward, yes, we
You
can't
should
go
take-
back.
If it was the dealer's fault, you should take it up with the dealer,
I
right?
think you need to highlight that first line.
Well, even if he, but I don't think it even matters, Kathleen, because even if he had the plates, he doesn't have to have the plates. But he didn't notify anybody, so he notified everybody late, so it
Do the
doesn't
plates
matter.
still count? He either has to have the plate or sign this affidavit with the town, right?
I mean, moving forward.
I bet you have
You
to
know
have
what,
the
you can,
affidavit.
wait a minute, when I read this, you can reduce it because you can do the 21 grand list to September 7th, 22. So the 22 grand list, you can change to September whatever, 23.
Oh,
So you have a right to change it.
oh.
Wait, what grand list are we referring to now? What grand
Okay,
list are we
this
on?
is like, okay.
For motor vehicles.
In the fall, there is a meeting that is just for motor vehicles,
Right,
right?
yeah.
So you could still appeal it to that meeting.
Oh,
That's what it says here. Because it says on the if you wanted to appeal for the 21 grand list, you would have had to have submitted it on the September 7th, 2022 appeal meeting. So I don't see why.
What does it matter? He signed it in 2023.
But he has until September 2023 to appeal to the BAA.
For this particular one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still signed it after, he
So
still.
no matter what, his affidavit was
after
signed after.
December.
Right. But I'm just saying, he has the right to appeal it up to September 2023.
Right,
so if he,
Well, he has the right to appeal it, but.
Right.
Isn't gonna
but wait a
change.
minute, wait a
Yeah, the
minute.
case isn't gonna change, I mean, yeah.
And he doesn't have, and he got the car in March of 2022?
So he's had he's had it with the wrong plate on it for a long time, right? It's not like.
He doesn't, but that car is stored. So, I can
Oh, I know
understand,
what it
I mean, I'm not saying we should do it, I'm just saying that I can understand why.
Is there a picture of the plate on it?
Yeah,
Yeah, now there is.
Car. No, but in his backup, I don't see a license plate on the vehicle.
there's one of them. See?
Oh. Maybe I didn't scroll down far enough.
And I'm just, yeah, it's in the,
And it's
Yeah, I
not a
think-
classic
yeah.
plate.
No.
Yeah.
Plate.
Oh, no, 00, that is a classic.
it is a classic.
00 BJST is a classic plate.
Yeah.
And those cars only have one plate.
But we don't know when
BMW
that
just don't get the
photograph was
plate.
taken.
Oh, they don't?
They don't make, you can't put the,
Right, I mean,
can't put the, I tried, you can't put the plate on it, it doesn't go on.
I wonder if he got the bill and then realized
But why would he have had no
he was
plate on the
missing the
car?
wrong plate. And then, I mean, this is sort of a hiccup one. But,
Well, it was the dealer's fault, I mean, right?
I think we should be
Taking it up with it. Someone made a mistake.
like a physical civil suit.
I gotcha.
If you buy a lot of cars,
Right.
it's
ridiculous.
Exactly. Why do you have to have that?
What do you, for the difference in a half a year's worth of taxes, right? You bought it in March, you really got a half a year
Right.
anyway,
Mm-hmm.
right, on the grand list, on the 2022 grand list, and the lease vehicle, so I don't even know who pays the taxes on
He
the
does.
lease vehicle. You pay the
He pays the
tax,
tax.
Yeah,
even though you have the lease.
Yeah.
the leasing company
I-
bills.
I mean, if we had the rule saying it had to have been filed before December, then, I mean, I tend to agree, he should go back to the dealer and say, you screwed up.
So no matter what it
Town-
says, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I was gonna say, no matter what it says in there that he has until September to appeal, he still would have had to file that paper
Yeah,
before
by
December,
December
by December.
twenty-second.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter, I
no
mean,
change. You could
Yeah, it's not
move
gonna
forward, but,
yeah,
yeah, nothing we can do
there's
now.
nothing we can do about that.
Does the tax, does your tax bill say your plate number on it?
I don't believe it
I don't
does
think it does.
anymore.
Wait a minute, where's that woman with Mercedes? 'Cause she had
The
a,
last,
she had a copy of her bill in there. Is this
Yeah,
one?
look at the
Which
bill,
one
I
was
mean,
the
if it's,
Mercedes?
if
Oh,
it's
the number 19.
bill,
Oh,
then I
19,
would
right there.
say we could look up, you
Let's
know.
see, let's see.
I don't think it does anymore, because it's become that plates are sort of, we're not allowed to print things out with the plates on them anymore.
So it's probably not on.
Oh, yes.
Some woke
You know, because
thing.
otherwise you can look at the tax bill.
no, it doesn't have a
And
license.
this number, no, there's no license plate on this.
Nope.
Mm-mm, I didn't think it did.
We have to disclose everybody's business, but we can't put their license plate number on the.
Yep.
You can see their car on the driveway,
Right.
on the road.
Okay, sorry.
Yep, no, I find it, I'm just by it, like, I'm like,
If you can do it, you know.
you can see your plate when you're driving
Yeah,
your
right,
car,
yeah,
you know.
can't cover it up, so it's, you know, public information.
Okay,
so I
well,
guess,
and there's no rebate to be had, even, you know, for X amount of time, because we're talking about last year prior to the
Mhm.
form.
Right.
So,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, filing that form, he's set for the following year. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have to do it. Okay. All right, so,
Yeah, once you file it, it's,
you wanna make a motion or not?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I read it, so the motion was to, reduce the, appraised value from $76,825 to the appellant's requested value of $715. That's the motion on the table.
oh, this is.
All in favor? Opposed? Unanimous.
Appeal was denied.
You're not doing the commercial one?
No?
Order is 7. You have to leave at 7.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I didn't prepare to do the commercial ones. It doesn't, if any of them are slam dunks or they're pretty easy,
Let's
I'm
take a
willing to
quick look.
take a look.
Take a look, take a quick
We
look.
did
I
make
don't
a
know if
motion,
I don't know
I
if
feel like we
I don't know if
Try
it's
to add
stand
it
on.
to tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, we can always add them on, if we can't do them today, we can add them for the next, if we, well, let's see if we finish all of them.
Okay, what did I
We
say
can
they
try.
were again? They were,
527 Sunset Hill,
okay, so
What number?
take a quick peek.
number 7 and number 38, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mhm.
If you have one of the, I didn't, just realized this, if you have one of the old appeals open in your browser, you can just change the digits in the browser, and just change the digits at the end. You don't have to close out, you don't have to go back to the website and click on the appeal.
Seven was the,
Go to the end of the link and just change the digits.
Yeah.
Seven, and then cover it up.
Okay. The next one,
number 7 was, Harriet.
Carry it to the commercial one?
No, this is
a print shot.
Oh, no, that's,
Vita
Ring a
Forza.
bell with me.
no. Oh, no, this was the appraisal was done with, Baldwin and Pearson. Schwab, Baldwin and Pearson.
Oh, this one.
Oh, that was that big giant appraisal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we can do that one.
It was vacant for a few years. And
This wasn't Ganomsville though, was it?
No, the same appraiser,
Again,
that's not
the
it.
other one.
the other one,
Okay.
I think.
That's right, he was presenting, he was like, oh, I read that one, but I hadn't read it. It was because it was the same appraiser, I didn't realize that he had the same appraiser.
Baldwin Pearson.
Yeah.
First show, I did quite a few last year, I think, too, remember.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, they seem to do a pretty comprehensive
He
one.
does both ways, I think, right, they just do a sales approach, and then they also.
Yeah, he did, he had an awful lot of information in there,
Was
so.
this the one that had the cameras on the property that the police often refer to, you know, for crime purposes?
Must
That the
be,
one?
because it's not, the only other commercial one is Ganom, so
Yeah.
it has to be this one.
Remember, they
Yeah, I remember
said
reading something
they
about
have a deduction for something like that, you know?
Yeah, because this crime was so rampant. Well, I'm just in,
I mean, he used some good.
actually, keep going, it looks like 17.
Kings Highway East, Moody Avenue, Fourth Avenue.
Use a cap rate of 8.
Cap rate.
I don't know, are we gonna try to do this one, or can we just wait and?
It's up to you, I mean, if you're not comfortable doing it, then we
I feel
have
like
to-
I have no problem
I would
doing it.
probably abstain, just because I haven't, I didn't, you know, I wasn't thinking we were doing them, so I really
Okay.
didn't look them
Okay,
over.
well, then let's,
All right,
If
then.
you guys are comfortable with it,
we
you
can
know.
skip it.
I'm personally comfortable with the appraisal, but if you
I
want,
am too.
I am too, but if you haven't had a chance to look
Yeah.
at it, then I'm not gonna.
and then forget it, the other ones.
I'm sorry, Peter?
I agree with what Kathleen's saying, I haven't
We can wait.
really compared.
I see a
Okay, you have to
350,
vote on
I see a
something.
350 in there for the,
It didn't have.
for the sales approach, right? Sale is 350, income 300, the average is
So what-
325.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, but I still would like to look at it.
okay.
Okay.
Can we make a motion now to put this one on the agenda for tomorrow, and then the second
Only
one
because,
on the next
the
day?
reason I don't wanna put it on now is because we have so many
Yeah.
things too, I don't know how long it's gonna take us, we can vote tomorrow to add it in,
We
right?
can always
Yeah.
add it in, I mean, there
Okay.
wasn't,
Do that, let's
Right,
wait, and
okay,
then this way
right.
we have time,
So
otherwise.
we may not have time.
Right, and then we've gotta do,
End
then
up
we've gotta do.
Thursday
right,
anyway.
put it on
I mean, the reason for putting the appeals
Okay.
on the agenda was so that people would know when we were deliberating, right? So if we're adding them in, we'd have to, you know, I don't know that these guys would be listening in, but.
Well,
I doubt it, but,
they don't need
you
to
know,
listen
never
in,
know.
but they can listen to the recording, for sure.
Exactly, as long as it's
Okay.
working.
I think so, that'll be it for
Weird
tonight.
that that keeps hanging up.
By the way, Peter, the car appeal, the Mercedes.
Yep.
I have no idea who the sales manager is, I've never met her, I've never been in that dealership.
Okay.
But if we're gonna have to answer every single time one comes up, if somebody in the room might think that somebody else knows, then that's a problem. That's a trust problem. That's not a problem of disclosure. That's a problem of trust. Like, why would you think I know that? Because I happened to call her on the phone? I mean, I just, that's just, I would have called anybody on the phone. So, but I'm not gonna answer that every single time
Yeah, Paula, or separately, I would just ask that the email that Ross sent me with the, you know, at like
Mhm.
4:35 or whatever, with the
Right.
calculations on the mileage, that just get added to the
Okay.
online PDF for that particular
Okay.
car, so if the woman wanted to see the, right, what the
Yeah.
NADA book would have said.
Okay.
So,
I think that's it for tonight, so,
I'll make a motion to
to adjourn. All in favor? The meeting is adjourned at 6:53. 6:53.
it's actually working.
I looked, before I said anything, I looked twice.
Yeah, 'cause it's-
All right. So, we can delete, what are we going to do with Kathy?